Tansei, welcome back to Metis Minute, your source for Metis news in Region 7. Welcome back to Metis Minute. I am your host, Samantha Loney, and as you may have seen from the title of today's video, we are going to be discussing the unhoused population in Simcoe County. Specifically, we are going to be discussing the encampment that is at Berzcy Park in Barrie, Ontario. The story all started about a week ago when Simcoe Community Media was sent notice that the Berzcy Park encampment residents were issued bylaw citations for camping in a public park last Tuesday. The citations were given to the residents with notice that they were to correct the infraction by Friday at 10:30 a.m. This caused many of the residents at the encampment to fear eviction. The bylaw infraction was given for camping in the public park, but most of us know that camping and finding housing for survival are two very different things, which is why we went down to visit the Berzcy Park encampment to see what these unhoused residents are doing at the park and what community is doing to help them. For those of you who have never been to Berzcy Park, there is two parts to the park. There is the actual playground that is there for children to play on, and then there is a trail that goes along the creek. When we visited the encampment, we were surprised to see that there are actually no residents living in the park area where the children are playing, which was somewhat of a concern that was raised by citizens and the mayor. The actual encampment is located along the path a distance away from the park. As you can see from the video, none of the tents are set up in the actual park area. Unfortunately, we couldn't get video of the encampment because we wanted to respect the privacy of the residents who are living there. But again, as you saw in the video of the playground, there were no tents in the park area, just some delinquent teenagers playing on the playground during their lunch break on a Friday afternoon. I was able to speak to Christine Naylor of Ryan's Hope, who stayed the night at the park to stand in solidarity with the encampment residents Thursday night when they were expected to be evicted the next morning at 10:30 a.m. So I do want to bring you some footage of that interview and the solidarity of community that I saw when I visited the encampment.
I'm Christine Naylor, and I'm the co-founder and director of Ryan's Hope, and we are here today standing up for our unsheltered friends' human rights. The city issued them 72-hour eviction notices on Tuesday, so today would be the deadline for them to come and evict people. And so we're here to show the power of community and say this is not going to happen. It's against the law. It's against the highest law in our country, the Charter of Rights and Freedom. And we're going to stand together with people. This is not an answer. This is not going to make our community safe for anyone. To just push people, take them from their homes, take them from their family of choice and their community that they've built for themselves, and push them all over the city to other parks. How does that help in any way to solve the problem? It just wastes money, it traumatizes people, and so we're here to say no. the eviction notice say that they're in violation of the camping on in public parks bylaw, and we try to remind the mayor and council that there's a difference between camping and surviving. So I was camping last night because I had a choice whether I wanted to be here or not, and I could have packed up at any time and went to my home, which I did this morning when I woke up and needed to pee, because there was no public washrooms open or available. And so that's the reality that our friends that are living outside deal with. We felt totally safe. We were welcomed. We didn't just show up and set up a tent. We made sure that we were welcomed into this community and people would be okay with us setting up a tent here tonight. And they were very happy to have us be here and be in support. A lot of our friends are dealing with a lot of trauma the last few days. We've been here supporting them in the park as best we can, like helping them to go through all of their belongings and like try to decide what they're going to keep and what they have to just leave behind, because they can't possibly take everything with them. And so we showed up as a community. There's tons of outreach workers from many different organizations, community members that have showed up to be in solidarity and to just let the mayor and council know that we are a community, and we want Barrie to be known for how we care for each other, not for cruelty. We're on hold right now because I read in Barrie today this morning there was a quote from the city saying that they're not going to evict at this time, but we need to know what at this time means. Does that mean once all of the advocates that are here and the community members whose voices they may somewhat listen to leave, are they going to come here tomorrow and evict everybody from the park? Or are they going to go to court and get a court injunction if this is something that they think they're legally entitled to do, which we know it's not, and we know they wouldn't win in court. So we're here, and we're going to continue to show up every time they try to violate people's human rights. Yeah, last night we were here. We had a beautiful community. We bought pizza and just shared in community with our friends. It was so quiet and so peaceful, and we didn't feel unsafe at all. I think that if people actually got to know their unsheltered neighbors, they would see that there is no us and them. There's just us, and we're stronger when we care for each other and when we come together as a community. I just want to guarantee from the mayor and council that they're going to stop wasting taxpayers' money this way, that they're going to stop traumatizing people this way. So even if we consider this a victory and they say they're not going to evict them today, tomorrow, anytime until they actually have actual accessible, affordable housing to offer them to go into. There's about half the people here that was here on Tuesday, because a lot of our friends have already packed up and left, and haven't really shared where they've gone to because they're scared and they've lost their trust, and they've lost their family, their community of support that they've built, and they've lost a lot of their belongings because they couldn't take everything with them. And so with that, it's sad, and that's the trauma that comes from this. Further traumatizing people that have been through so much trauma in their life does nobody good.
We are happy to say that on Friday at 10:30 a.m., bylaw officers did not show up to have the residents removed from the encampment, and they were able to continue to stay there throughout the weekend. But as you heard Christine Naylor say, some of the residents within this encampment had already left in fear of their forceful removal. Christine and the advocates that showed up at the encampment have no idea where these residents went or if they're safe. Christine told me that she is going to continue to show up at not only this encampment, but encampments across the city to stand in solidarity in case the mayor decides to pull another stunt like this. Christine, as you heard in the interview, also made it known that the eviction from these encampments is a violation of charter rights, and she was able to obtain a lawyer to work on behalf of the residents in case they should need to fight back against the forcible removal from these areas. Now, you may be asking yourself why I chose to include this content for a Métis Minute episode. As I mentioned earlier, I did not bring my camera into the actual encampment where the residents were staying for privacy, but I can tell you that one of the residents I met at this specific encampment at Berzcy Park was Métis. This Métis man that we will call Warren had struggles with mental health and addiction that saw him ending up on the street. But I can tell you, after a conversation with Warren, I can confidently say that he is well on his way to a recovery and a better life. However, he is currently still unhoused at this encampment. After my conversation with Warren, it was clear that he had no idea about the many services available from the MNO for him as a Métis person. Warren also has trouble obtaining his citizenship from the registry. During his troubled times, Warren's citizenship card with the MNO ended up getting expired, and he does not have an address. So not only is Warren having trouble accessing the MNO's housing services, he's also having trouble accessing registry to obtain his citizenship. As you may know, the Métis Nation of Ontario has a lot of amazing programs through the housing department to help Métis citizens who are experiencing homelessness. They have this Métis housing stabilization program, and we'll leave a link with the phone number in the description of this video below. They also have these amazing street kits that are available to help those who are experiencing life on the street. But if the citizens who are currently living on the streets don't know that we have these programs available to them, what good are they? So if you are a Métis Nation of Ontario citizen who is passionate about helping Métis people who live on the street, reach out to the MNO's housing department and see how we could better provide these housing services to our Métis people who are living on the street. Merci for watching, and we'll see you down the river.